Let's talk about dealing with difficult demons. Now, specifically, I want to talk about a verse that's been removed from most of your Bibles. Matthew 17:21. You see, this verse has been taken out of the majority of Bibles, but it still is in older Bibles. But newer Bibles, it seems like they don't want you to know about this verse, and they utterly remove it. In fact, you can just read 17:20, and it will just skip 21 and then jump to 22. It has purposefully and intentionally been removed. Now, it coincides with another verse that's oftentimes altered, which is Mark 9:29, where they remove one component of that verse, which is fasting. Now, what is fasting? It is denial of yourself, specifically denial of yourself food. Now, this verse says that some of these demons only go out by prayer and fasting. Now, Jesus just ended a fast and had the authority to command the demon to leave, and the boy was healed. But the others couldn't heal the child. There's two things to understand here. Number one is that when you fast, it brings you closer to death, and it calls out to the Lord, and he sees your suffering, and he draws near to you. He sees that you're denying yourself to pursue him. This is one form of fasting that brings you closer to God, but it's not just denial of food, it's denial of self and everything else. And it's prayer and fasting. So when you fast, you call out to the Lord and seek him fully. If you do this, you will draw closer to the Lord, and the Spirit of the Lord will rest upon you more, and there will be more ability for the Lord to move through you and to heal others even. Now, secondarily, what I need to explain is that fasting yourself is also a terrific way to deliver yourself from demonic oppression. And the reason why this fasting is so important is because Jesus didn't say, if you fast. He said, when you fast. When you fast. You are supposed to fast. And you also need to understand that demons require payment. Now, this is very important to understand construct, but first I got to explain a little bit of a story to help you understand. You see, I was praying for a woman and her son recently, and the boy had such violent outbursts and Tourette syndrome that it was uncontrollable. And I asked the mother, was there anything that allowed the boy to calm down? He had to be removed from school and all these other issues were going on. And she said one thing. She said, when I cry, the boy calms down. And I heard in the spirit when she said this, the demon spoke to me and said that I require tears. And it was a very interesting thing to hear, that demons require payment. You see, the boy, later, we ended up praying and he got delivered and set free from those demons that were oppressing him. But interestingly, before Jesus set him free, the only other way to calm the boy down before he was set completely free was to give the demon what it wanted. And what it wanted was tears. Now, that payment may be something different in every person's life. Demons of cigarettes require burned offerings. Demons of weed require burned offerings. Demons of diabetes require blood. You must prick your finger or it will kill you. Some demons require that you pee yourself or pee the bed. In fact, there's an interesting correlation between late-stage bedwetters and serial killers. Certain demons require medicine. You must take this medicine or the demon will take your life. Demons require payment. Some demons require sexual acts. You must give in to the sexual desire or frustration and anger and depression will set in. Demons want you to give them what they want. And because of sin that you have done, or even sin that your parents have done, if you do not give the demon what it wants, it will torment you. It will give you anxiety, depression, frustration, anger, fear. It will project these negative emotions onto your life till you give it what it wants. Some demons, because of access that has been granted, can even give you sickness and death if you don't give them their payment. And if you want freedom from demons like this, you need to recognize the payment that you are giving to the demon and deny it. You have to pick up your cross and deny yourself even. We sometimes call obsession or desires or things you have to do addiction. But in reality, it is a demon that is demanding payment of you. It's requiring that you give into that lust. It's requiring that you give into that desire. It's requiring that you give into that food and that gluttony so that that demon can be satiated. And the answer to free yourself from a demon that requires payment is denial of everything. Not just denial of the thing, denial of food, denial of everything. You need to fast if you want to break a demon of its will and of its demanding requirements. Not just fast the thing. So many people, they think, oh, I can just get rid of the thing that's been oppressing me and demanding if I just stop doing the thing. No, you need to deny everything. You need to deny all of it to where you are drinking only water and you are fasting in a state that will drive the demon dry of his payment that he requires, and he will leave you. This is how you get free of sticky demons. So you need to learn to recognize when you're giving payment to a demon, but it's not necessarily addiction. How many people might say something like, oh, brother, that's not accurate. I can sin and I'm forgiven. I don't have to pay no demons. I can sin and I'm forgiven. You know what? Jesus healed a man and he said, go and sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon you. Do you think he meant go and sin no more? But it's okay if you sin a little bit because I'm going to die on the cross and my blood's going to be spilled out for you and you'll be fine. No, he said, go and sin no more, lest a worse thing come upon you. Because Jesus knew that the demon would require payment, especially the demon that got mad because Jesus just kicked him out and the dude got healed. Now, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God, but it doesn't mean that you need to continue in sin. Do you understand? Like, you may make a mistake in sin, and sure, God will forgive you. But if you continue in the sin, that's a little bit different. And maybe the Lord will forgive you, but I'm going to tell you one thing who won't forgive you. The demons. The demons won't forgive you. And they're going to hold that sin over you and use it to every bit of advantage to affect your life. You are not to be sinning. So many Christians miss this construct. If you think you're a Christian, you're fine and you're not sinning, you're totally fine, just living your little life and sleeping with your girlfriend and everything's good and fine. If you think that's the case, it's probably the reason why you've never performed a miracle and you've never seen a miracle and you don't even believe miracles are real. You probably doubt this kind of stuff. You have to give explanation for why miracles aren't actually happening. Oh, maybe it was only meant for things in the Bible time at that time. Yeah, that's probably because you're living in sin. The Lord is not going to allow his Spirit to move through you if you're not pursuing the path of righteousness. Doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but you need to be pursuing the path of righteousness if you want to see the Lord moving through you to do miracles. If you want to see kids get healed from Tourette syndrome and suffering and autism and these kind of things, stop sinning. Give up the sin, start seeking the Lord, and watch him move in your life. And if you can't get over a sin, recognize that it might be a demon and it's requiring its payment. And the solution to get rid of a demon that requires payment is denial of everything. And you need to fast. Denial of self evokes a spiritual connection to the Lord that allows more power to flow through you. So this is your message. You want to be free from those demons? You want to be free from the drugs that you have to take because the demon requires payment or it'll take your life? You want to be free from all the oppression going on? You want to not have to keep paying the demon its payment? Then seek the Lord, fast, and stop sinning. You see, everything in your world revolves around God and the Bible, whether you believe in it or not.